In this video, I will share truth that will allow you to choose a life that will allow you to transform how you live, and the world's struggles will be banished. So the first question I have for you is, have you surrendered your life? Think about that. Have you surrendered your life? I mean, totally surrendered your life. Have you gotten to the point where you say, it's not about me. I'm surrendering to something bigger than me. Those sorts of things. I hadn't done that for most of my life. I hadn't surrendered my life. I'd kept control of my life. It was imaginary control, but I thought I could keep control of my life. And the more control I had, the more secure I thought that I felt. So when I discovered over time the power of surrendering my life, wow, believe me, there were a lot of years for me living in an unsurrendered life, living in a life that I tried to control. I tried to improve my circumstances, my situation, all of that. And it's exhausting. It takes its toll. It took its toll on me, and I'm quite sure it takes its toll on most people. As a matter of fact, I've met a lot of people that have echoed that same sentiment, that trying to control life is exhausting, can be very, very exhausting and intimidating. So that's the first question. Have you surrendered your life? And if you have not, there is a way to do that. And I'm not going to talk specifically in detail about that, but it's a pretty simple way to surrender your life. Now, there's a lot that goes into it. It takes some understanding. It takes probably a shift in belief for you, for sure. And it takes some change, as you can imagine, especially in the Western world. We're taught to personal growth and take charge and you can do it and all of that stuff. So it's a huge change. But if the thought of surrendering your life sounds kind of interesting, then keep listening. There is a way. Who do you belong to? That's the question to start asking. Who do you belong to? And start globally. What's your first response to that? I belong to the world. I belong to my parents. I belong to the universe. Whatever you decide, determine, who do I belong to? Who do you belong to? That's the question to think into. And, from my perspective, this is not going to be a big revelation, but I belong to God. And once I know I belong to God, it changes everything. So there's one thing to know that, but then there's quite another thing to believe that. So you can know that you belong to God, but do you believe it? And if you can believe it, you've already, quote unquote, won versus the people of the world. Because, and I know this, I can speak from experience, when I was living in the world, I was part of the world. And I was consumed by doing worldly things, making money, having a job, seeking relationships, sports, entertainment, travel, all the things. You still do all those things if you believe in God. But the difference is, it's your heart. Are you surrendered to the will of God? Or is it the will of Robert, in this case, the will of me? And versus the old me, I'll just talk about me. The old me was surrendered to Robert. And that was the exhausting. The new me, knowing that I belong to God, it's not exhausting. It's beautiful. I hurry less. I smile more. I'm more in peace. I can bring peace to others. I'm full of joy. I can go on and on and on and on. So again, if this is sounding intriguing to you and you haven't taken that step of surrender, then keep listening. You're listening to this for a reason. The spirit of who lives in you is greater than those that live in the world. So once you have surrendered to God, Jesus, and let him lead your life, you've got that Holy Spirit in you, and that spirit is greater than anyone that lives in the world. And that is the crux of it. Once you understand that, the love, the peace, the joy that comes with that. So you're always turning to that Holy Spirit instead of that holy you, that holy Robert. And it is transformative. Now, again, it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. For me, I had a moment that I'm not going to talk about in this video, but it was a transformative moment that led to the continual renewing of them. And it's been a journey that I think is one that everyone would enjoy should they decide to embark on it, because it's beautiful. And I know, man, if everybody in the world could embark on this journey, this world would be a better place. There's no doubt in my mind. So the others belong to the world. So they speak from a worldly perspective of the world. That's a lot right there. So you can either belong to the world and speak from a worldly perspective, and the world will listen to you. That's the trap. You can go along and be very successful in the world. But will listen. The world will lift you up. The world will reward you in worldly ways. However, think about that. It's very finite. Everything the world has to offer is finite. It's not lasting. It's not everlasting. It's not eternal. So therein lies the difference. That is the difference. And if this is new to you, you probably don't even understand. So just keep engaging. Offer a chance to get involved with us at Life Transformed. You don't have to be a Jesus follower to be Life Transformed. But will we aspire to do and to act and to be like Jesus? So you'll get to understand what it's like to live that life from people who are actually living it in various degrees, because we're all evolving and changing. But it's a beautiful place to be. So the question comes down to, are you of the world or of the spirit? It's a choice you have to make. Knowing that choice, here's the carrot. The spirit allows you to overcome the world. That is the bottom line. The spirit will allow you to overcome the world. So subscribe with the notification bell to receive regular updates. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button to see more like this. And comment down below. This can be with questions or answers to a question you ask. And we'll see you next time on this amazing journey from isolation to community, where the next step beyond is freedom.